was actually first known as Bethel. It changed in 1883 from Bethel to Homeland when an Irish peddler by the name of Jack McCormick came through the area and said that it reminded him of his homeland, which was Ireland. So I guess the name stuck and it changed to Homeland, and it's been that way since. Homeland Heritage Park has been around since 1985. The park opened up with the only building at that time was the building we're in, which was the schoolhouse. And throughout the years, they added more and more buildings just to help preserve them and teach, different people, the school kids and everybody about the history of Polk County and the buildings themselves. The school was originally built and opened up in 1878. At this time, it was about a mile west of this location. A year later, in 1879, they relocated it to where it currently sits today. It is currently on the National Register of Historical Places in Polk County. It is the oldest existing public school building in Polk County. When the school first opened up, it was just the room right behind me. They had 5 students and 1 teacher. It quickly grew and it became the largest school in Polk County in 1888. At this time, it had around 75 students, and it was known as Miss Swearingen's Homeland School. She was the teacher at the time. They taught basic reading, writing, and your basic arithmetic, just things to help the children learn how to farm and read like the Bible and take journals and things like that. Homeland was a big farming community, and because of this, that's why they learned, basic arithmetic to learn how to count and learn how much they should plan each year and things like that. Located inside the schoolhouse, we have the Homeland School Bell. This bell is the original school bell to the schoolhouse. It was manufactured all the way up in Michigan, and it cost $7.84 to make and deliver down here. The Homeland Schoolhouse, as I mentioned before, it had just 1 room when it was first built, and as the population of Homeland and the schoolhouse itself grew, they had to add more and more rooms. So they added 4 rooms throughout the history of the building. In 1888, in 1910, in 1919, and in 1922. The Homeland Schoolhouse taught 1st through 8th grade, all the way up until 1956 when it closed due to a dwindling pupil population and phosphate mining in the area. This church was built all the way back in 1887, and it took them 2 years to make. It cost the community around $2,000 to build. The community had to gather funds together, and they had to purchase things such as the stained glass windows and the 2,000-pound bronze bell, both of which are still in the church today. The church had congregations all the way up until 1970. A year after the park opened, in 1986, the Homeland Methodist Church was brought onto the park. Now, this church wasn't originally located where it is today. It was just south of the park across the street. It is marked today by you can see a rose bed. That's where the church originally was located. In 1946, the Homeland Methodist Church, the steeple out front was actually knocked over due to a hurricane. Now this wasn't repaired back to its original height all the way until 1990, when the building was already on the park.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Today, the Homeland Methodist Church is used for things such as weddings, and during our special events, we have, that's where our live musical performances take place.
Like me, I once was alone.
So the next building that was added onto Homeland Heritage Park was the Ralston House. This building originally was located up in Lakeland, near I-4 and County Line Road. The Ralston House was built in the 1880s by the Blocker family and then sold to the Ralston family. The Ralston family lived in the house from 1900 to 1912, and then they rented out the house until it was moved to the park in 1987. The Ralston House originally did not have indoor plumbing or electricity, and because of this, they had to use an outhouse, but a bathroom was later added on in 1934. The Ralston House setting at Homeland Heritage Park is very similar to where it was located in Lakeland. There's a Jack's Oak and also our orange and lime grove here. This log cabin was built in 1888 and was also located up near Lakeland. It was located in the Winston area, kind of near Medela Road and County Line Road. It was built in 1888 by the English brothers and then lived in and owned by the English family until it was donated to the park. Inside the log cabin, you'll see it set up today as it would have been back in the day. Now there used to be a loft in the log cabin. That's where the children would sleep. The English log cabin has a covered porch. This provided shade during the hot summers in Florida, and that is usually where the family would do their daily chores. So the final building that was added to the park is the English pole barn. It was also donated by the English family. It is not known exactly when this barn was built, but it's over 100 years old and was probably built sometime from 1870 to 1890. The English pole barn was used to store the crops that they were farming at the time, such as corn, sweet peas, sugar cane, and other crops like that. They would store hay in the attic part of the barn, and that would be used to feed the animals. Today outside the barn, you will find a bunch of different antique farming equipment. So here at Homeland Heritage Park, we have a couple special events throughout the year. Usually in early April, we have our Good Old Days Festival. Our Good Old Days Festival is kind of like an old pioneer-ish type event where we have different reenactors, demonstrations come on out. We have some live music and things like that. Our Cracker Storytelling Festival is our biggest event out here. We have a handful of storytellers coming out and tell different stories to school kids. Our Christmas Notes Festival takes place during Christmas, and we have a bunch of different just things for family fun, like bounce houses and Christmas vendors come on out, and then we have a bunch of different local schools come out in their bands and perform Christmas-themed music. Here at Homeland Heritage Park, we offer scheduled tours, walk-in tours, school field trips, and our special event programs. We are here at Homeland Heritage Park on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 5, but if you'd like to schedule a tour, you can schedule one from Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.